Okay, so today we're going to look at two different interpretations of multiplications of fractions. So the first one we're going to look at is geometric. So think about if we have a rectangle, let's say with a vertical height of 2 and a horizontal length of 3. You may recall that that means this 2 is going to break that in half, and the 3 is going to break it horizontally into 3 pieces, and the area of this rectangle is the number of unit squares that we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get 6. So we get that another interpretation of just regular multiplication is the area of this rectangle. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. That's how many squares we have. We can translate this into fractions as well. Let's say that we take just one of these unit rectangles right here. So there's my unit. Let's say that this side is 3/5 and this side is 1/4. So we know by definition of our fractions, this side being 1/4, that means we're breaking the unit into 4 pieces, and I'm just going to take one of them. So let's break it vertically, horizontally into 4 pieces, and I'm just going to take one of them. So I'm going to take this one right here. And 3/5 means we're going to break it into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to take 3 of them. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. So this overlapped shaded region is the area covered by 3/5 times 1/4. So what is that? Well, how many squares do I have, or how many little rectangles do I have? This way got cut into 4 pieces, this one into 5 pieces, so that would give me 20 of them, and the overlap is 3. So 3/5 times 1/4 gives me 3 out of the 20. Right, so this is one representation, the geometric representation of multiplication, and as you can see, that algorithm for multiplication of fractions just tells us, we've probably all heard it before, multiply straight across. So 3 times 1 gives me 3, and 5 times 4 gives me 20. So again, one representation. The second representation of multiplication of fractions goes to the concept of, so let's write that down, the concept of. So we use this terminology a lot just in our everyday conversation, especially sitting at home on quarantine. So if I said that I ate 2/3 of a pie, we have defined what 2/3 means. So you could imagine if I ate 2/3 of a pie, then I have this pie, and what happened to it? By definition of 2/3, I took that pie, broke it into 3 pieces, and I ate 2 of them. So 2/3 of my unit, so 2/3 of 1 is 2/3 times 1. And we get that is just 2/3, right? I ate 2/3 of that pie. So what if my unit wasn't 1 whole pie? What if my unit was only 3/4 of the pie? Or let's say that I had 1/4 of a pie and I ate 3/5 of it. So we want to figure out, I ate 3/5 of 1/4, 1/4 of a pie. So what's my unit now? Well, I'm starting with only 1/4 of the pie. So let's get my pie going again. Here's my pie, and we know since I only have 1/4 of it, that original whole pie was cut into 4 pieces, and now I'm only talking about one of them. So I ate 3/5 of this piece of pie here. Well, how do I get the 3/5? Well, it's the same exact way that I got the 1/4, right? 1/4 of a pie, I took the whole pie, I broke it into 4 pieces, and I took one of those. So how do I get 3/5 now? Well, I'm going to take my quarter, break it into 5 pieces, and I'm only going to take 3 of those. So if I take this quarter and I break it into 5 pieces, pretend they're 5 equal pieces, how many pieces am I talking about now? Well, if I had done that to the whole pie, each quarter being broken into 5 pieces, I would have 5, 5, 5, and 5, which would be 20. So each of these little pieces now is 1/20th. Bless you. And I'm taking 3 of them, so I have 1, 2, 3 20ths. So 3/5 of 1/4 is 3/5 times 1/4, which gives us 3/20. Now, one more way to look at this would be on a number line. Essentially the same exact thing that we did here with the pie, but we can see it with a number. So starting with 1/4, we know by definition that took my unit segment. I broke it into 4 pieces, and I'm taking 1 of them. So I'm just talking about this little segment right here. This represents 1/4. Now, if I'm taking 3/5 of that, then we know by definition again, I'm breaking that segment into 5 pieces. So there we go, I have 5 pieces, and I'm taking 3 of them. But I need to know how big is each one of those pieces. Again, if we had taken the whole unit and broken it up like this, taken each fourth and broken it into 5 pieces, I would have 5, 10, 15, 20. So I know that each piece would be 1/20th, and I'm taking 3 of them. So we know how to count. 1, 2, 3 20ths. So again, I'm going to shade that in. This would be 3 20ths.